here. Feedback 69. Naturally. You guys submit your tracks. I listen to your track. We review them. I give you feedback. What's good? What's happening? We have a couple of submissions here that we got to get to right away. Our first submission is going to be from Kyrie. Yeah, I'm Beast Boy. I'm going to go ahead and double check my camera and make sure that the chat is up and running. Submit your song in my Discord to be reviewed on next week's stream. Right now we have reached the limit for this stream. Let's go ahead and get started with the first track in. Nice. This is cool. Got good vibes, good energy. There's lots of movement with the synths. So there's a lot of feelings and emotions in here. Plus we got some nice beefy sounds. So this is pretty good. When we first start the song though, the stereo image feels off. Like it's almost like there's too much happening on the left and not enough on the right. It just feels very unbalanced. So I'll check into that. Make sure everything's nice and balanced. Also in the pre-drop, we should definitely have it break from the original pads and chords. So they're still playing. So it's hard to know that there's a difference in phrases here. These phrases are almost, it's almost like a run-on phrase because of this. So instead of having the pad go, you incorporate more silence, maybe different cool sound effects, so that this can be a nice transition section to the next phrase. Now this is cool, but the main synth, like that one, it's very low volume, very small, pretty weak, especially compared to like your main bass. So we need to get that, more beefed up. It feels like the high frequencies are like filtered out. So make sure you're doing some good compression, pulling out all those frequencies. And towards the end, it starts to get repetitive back here. So start to incorporate new rhythmic elements, new tones, and new pitches so that you can add some variation towards the end here. A good big change would be very helpful, and it'll also keep all this at the beginning fresh as well. But overall, that's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Good, nice idea. Is a little bit quiet at -8 LUFS, so you still have some -7 LUFS. You still have a little bit of room to get a little bit louder. Just keep that in mind, but good job, man. That's what I like to see. Yeah, I'm Beast Boy. Next is Nesjanet Synapse. Oh, Lord have mercy. Is that what I think it is? Oh, yes, it is. Thank you very much for the follow, Angelo. I appreciate that. Little access hit hard. Indeed, I agree. All right, next submission is called the Nesjanet ND. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if not, but let's dive in.
Hey, 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 hey.
That's dark. Nice vibes. Cool little soundscape here. Dark piano. So the sound design here is pretty alright. There's some pretty cool metallic-y basses coming out, but it doesn't feel heavy or hard at all because there's just no low frequencies. There's no sub here. Remember, we are making bass music, so the sub bass is everything. And this is lacking in a lot of subs. So cut the low frequencies out of these basses and add your own separate sub and start to kind of glue that separate sub and your basses together to get something nice and big and beefy. And incorporate more silence, use call, response, fill, flow. Try to make some type of flow so that you don't just have the basses running on and doing whatever they want. You need some type of structure. My latest call and response video will help with that too, the flow. And then it's just way too loud. So it's like -2 LUFS, which is ear damaging loud. -3 LUFS is the loudest you should ever be. And that's if you're like making heavy, super loud tear out. Otherwise, every other genre should be definitely like around -6, you know, -4 maximum. So you want to dial this back. It's too loud. I have to turn it down to listen to this. And that's an issue. If I have to turn it down, then I feel less energy. And we want maximum energy. You know, we want that max energy. So keep keep those things in mind. Hit me up if you have any questions about those things. And I'll be available in the Discord and the Instagram too. But yeah, keep up the sound design. Keep working. Make new cool sounds and start putting them in a flow. Turn it down a little. Nice. Next, we have Eccentric coming in with Awakening. Remember, guys, only one submission. He went ahead and chose Awakening. So we're going to listen to this one now. Let's check it. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, follow if you support the drip journey. We out here.
the beginning.
All right, cool. That's eccentric with Awakening. Nice. So this is like, okay. There needs a lot of work in the energy department. I mean, in some sections, we're dancing very slow in halftime. We're not dancing to the full speed like in these intros. Like, there's no way we can dance to this 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be full time, but we're dancing half that speed. And for a long time, we're dancing half the speed. A very long time. Now we're trying to speed it up here, but it's just not working. In EDM, we really need to keep things fast-paced, moving like 80 to 90% of the time. And then you can sprinkle in some of these halftime transitions and fillings, but for us to play almost half of the song in halftime is going to be an issue. When the kick comes in, it starts to sound distorted. Oh yeah, and by the way, to fix the halftime, you'll add synths going really fast arpeggiators in the background going really fast. You'll have like maybe rhythmic hats going super fast. Anything that can speed up the energy, speed up the motion is how you can fix that. When this kick comes in, very distorted, very muddy, and it is unpleasant in this mix. So you have to fix that. Get a good kick that works. Use sidechain if there's multiple low frequencies playing at the same time. And then in general, as this track progresses, this could use a bass line here. It sounds very empty after we just listen to this. So make sure you add like some type of bass line to fill the frequency spectrum so it doesn't feel empty, because it's just mids and highs. And then we're like barely giving us some lows with this distorted kick. So it's just not enough. The buildup needs more elements. It's very empty. There's like, it sounds like a very small amount of elements. So you want more risers, more sweeps. Sweeps going down, sweeps going up, more drum builds. You want pitch risers, everything possible. You want to add as much as you can and then start taking away so you can build as much tension as possible in this buildup. And the most important thing is that the drop feels low energy because there's not a proper call and response flow. So this motif that you wrote, the main riff, gets repetitive very fast.
I'm going, yeah.
Starts right here. And then you just keep playing it. So listen to right here. It stops being unique after that. And then right here, it starts to sound repetitive and like you just keep playing it over and over. The goal of this fake out is to add a lot more energy so that when we hit the drop, things get crazier. But since there's not a call and response structure here, we're just repeating this over and over again. So watch my last video on call and response, please. Every single track feedback I give, I say the same thing, call and response. So I made that video specifically for you guys so you can fix the flow and energy of your EDM tracks. At minimum, you need to be doing at least some type of call response fill. If you look up call and response on Wikipedia, you'll see in simple, plain terms, it's just phrases that work like a conversation in music. Two distinct phrases. It's a compositional technique. One phrase plays something, and then the second phrase answers with like a commentary or a response. So right now you only have one thing happening. There's not like a call and answer. And that's what you'll need. So instead of just playing it'd be like and then when the loop starts again, you can go back to the long bass, the rah, da, da, da. So you choose two different speeds, like long bass, then go into fast, or you can do a fast bass and then go into slower bass. Just don't do fast bass and then fast bass. That defeats the purpose. You have to have a conversation here. And I know you have these pitch rises. Right here. These right here. Now, technically, this could be part of the call and response structure, but it's just happening way too late in this phrasing for it to be effective. This needs to start happening sooner in time, or you need to add some more call and response structure here so that it flows into this next section. But this section really helps with the pitches going up and the synth playing. Oh yeah, and then the whole song is very quiet. So if you like were DJing, or like if a DJ downloaded your song and they tried to play it with another dubstep song, your song would be super quiet compared to it. And then they would just feel like, oh, that song has a lot of high energy because it's loud, and your song is low energy because it's quiet. So you have to be really careful. You can't be at -9 LUFS when making this type of genre. You have to be a lot louder. Try to reach for like -6 LUFS. Around there is going to be your sweet spot. Download loudness meters like Ulean or the Swiss Army meter to measure and get it loud enough. And then there is one more thing. So just listen to your stereo image. The growls are on the side and your beeps are in the middle. It's a very awkward, weird stereo image because you need to split it by frequency. So all the low frequencies, right, like sub and kick, are in the middle. They're mono. So any other bass and synth that has low frequencies should be relatively in the middle. But then your higher frequencies, like these beeps and bloops and stuff, those we spread out to the side because those are high frequencies. And that's how we can get a nice blend between our stereo image and our frequency spectrum. Okay? Okay. Hit me up if you need help with any of that. Remember, guys, I do lessons and I can get you on the right path, in the right direction. You know what it is. All right. Good job, Eccentric. That is Awakening. Up next, we have Isaiah with Black Coffee, Unprocessed Vocal. Interesting. Let's go.
I'm mooning all the morning, morning all the night, and in between it's nicotine and not much heart to fight. Black coffee, feeling low as the ground. It's driving me crazy, this waiting for my baby to maybe come around. I'm feeling mighty lonesome, haven't slept a wink. I walk the floor and watch the door, and in between I drink black coffee. Love's a hand-me-down brew. I'll never know a Sunday in this weekday room. I'm talking to the shadows, 1 o'clock to 4. And Lord, how slow the moments go when all I do is pour black coffee. Since the blues caught my eye, I'm hanging out on Monday, my Sunday dreams to die. Now man is born to go loving, a woman's born to weep and fret, to stay at home and tend her oven. I'm mooning all the morning,
All right, cool. That is wait, is your name Isaiah? Hold up. Wheat, white, or rye? Black coffee, unprocessed vocal. All right, what did you say? You said not maximized or finished, going to go hog wild with effects and ear candy and some more layers to the main bass. Looking for feedback on overall arrangement, stereo field, organization, and pre-drop use. All right, cool. Well, honestly, the most important thing is making sure that this sounds in harmony and not like dissonant. And a lot of these sections sound very like out of key, like the vocals doing one thing and then the instruments are playing like a whole different system of keys, you know?
To the shadows, 1 o'clock.
Like that main bass brass thing sounds like it's just doing whatever it wants in the pitch, and it's not really flowing with the song around it. So a lot of these sections are very dissonant, and it's very, very hard to listen to. Towards the end, it becomes extremely difficult to keep the song playing. Remember, the vocalist is doing something very beautiful, very difficult. It's very special. So we have to respect these vocals and make sure that if we add any other music around it, any instruments, it's complementing or supporting the vocals. If you try to add something and they're clashing with the vocals or competing with the vocals or doing different pitches than the vocals, it's just not going to be a good time. You know, it's going to cause a lot of tension and dissonance, which is not a good feeling. Her vocals are so clean and smooth, and they bring really ethereal, atmospheric vibes into your soul. So you have to kind of continue that, especially when your intro is majority of just vocal. It looks like the vocal is one of the main centerpieces of this song. So you got to make sure that when the basses come in, the vocal doesn't just get kicked out of the way. Make sure everything's perfectly in key. Check your scale, check your key, check all pitch bends, check all transpositions. Make sure everything's perfect, because that is undoubtedly the thing that you need to make sure you check on first. Overall stereo image is fine, right? It sounds full in the stereo image. The movement of the bass is pretty cool too, but the movement starts to get repetitive really quickly in this first drop.
Black coffee. Love's a hand-me-down.
Cool, so that's the loop right here. Boom, 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 boom. It gets faster, gets slower, and then it just repeats. So, I mean, that's cool for the first phrase, right? When we first heard it. But if you just keep playing it over and over, it loses its value over time and energy starts to go down. So you need to start doing call and response. Please look at the last call and response video that I made. It'll help you so much. You want there to be movement between basses within this phrase. So this is your 4-bar phrase, but the only thing that's happening is one bass moving in a couple different ways. But we need multiple different elements within this 4 bars to add enough movement to make people dance, and most importantly, make people continue to listen throughout the song with energy. We want to increase the energy over time. We can't have the energy decrease over time, which is what's happening currently. So improve the call response flow. Make sure to incorporate more silence in here, add more dynamics. We need to go from loud to quiet, and that will make each new loud section fresh again. Do those tricks and it'll help. And also,
It's nicotine.
I mean, there's very little music in here.
Morning all the night.
This is fine for a little bit, but for this long, it's, I mean, in EDM, this is just really long to hear something low energy without music. So try to incorporate some bass lines, arpeggiators, rhythms, anything EDM that you can, so that we can make this sound modern and up to date rather than just like resampling an old vinyl record. The idea though of using this voice and going into some wubs is very good. I like this a lot, and there are some sections where I did get lost. Like this section's really good.
Now man is born to go,
Lots of movement. You see there's more silence coming in here.
to go loving.
We also have different types of basses. This long bass and goes back to this fast.
A woman's born to weep and fret.
Lots more dynamics. You see more silence, just more movement, more energy, more life in something like this. And plus the congos or whatever drums are going in the back is helping so much with the movement and speed.
Born to go loving.
This is what you want to be doing throughout the majority of the song, honestly. This type of movement, this type of dynamics, this type of feeling. You get lost in the song and people can just enjoy the frequencies, which is very good. So yeah, keep it up, man. Good job. Let me know if you need any other help or have any other questions. Next is Shreddy coming in with That Love. Let's run it. Check and chat. Shreddy. Sup, Stacks? What to do? What to do? Alright, cool. And Isaiah, I see if you listen to more minimal, true to original dubstep, there's a lot less in your face. Yeah, remember, art and music is extremely subjective. It can literally be anything you want. The music theory is a theory. It's not music rules, right? My suggestions and my recommendations are based purely out of trying to get your brand to the highest level, trying to get the audience dancing as best as possible, and trying to reach the highest quality. Remember, back in 2006, 2007, 2008, we could make these simple wubs and dubs, and it was super next level. It would take everyone, you know, to the furthest place they can go. But we're in 2024 now, and EDM's been made for a long time. Every type of rhythm and dance and energy has been used. So creating something original and unique is difficult. And to do that, we have to do these types of special tricks like call and response. And we're in the loudness wars where we're trying to get things super loud. So, I mean, obviously you can make your art however you want, but if you submit, I will give you the recommendation to try to get it higher energy, because that's what will make people dance. You want to make sure people connect to your music as much as possible. And remember, our attention spans are very low. So if they get bored, they're just going to skip the song. And we have to keep that in mind. We got to remember it's not 2006 anymore, and people don't just listen to albums like they used to. It's a whole different game, and we have to adapt. and evolve. It's very important. Am I dead? What's good? Still taking feedback? No, submissions are closed, dude. But you can submit for the next one for sure. You know what it is. All right, shredding. So there's a couple things here that were pretty obviously out of time, and I want you to go ahead and check these out here. So let's look into this. All right, so you hear the snares in the background kind of building up. They're out of time with the song. Right there. And right here, the timing's off. The timing is one of the most important things here. Remember, we start mixing songs, DJing, playing songs out. The first and most important thing that we learn in this music stuff is counting beats, timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That timing is everything. So if any part of the song loses the regular timing, things start to get awkward, funky, and we lose the groove that we're in. Remember, we're dancing to a specific groove. If you stop that groove, then we have to rebalance, get back into groove, and that just is really bad for the type of energy and movement. We're making EDM, so all this music is usually being DJ'd at the same speed. Old, like classic rock and stuff, would change BPMs all the time, and that's fine. But when we're making songs to be mixed by other DJs, we have to keep these things in mind so that the timing is always consistent. Let's look at the drop now. All right, so one of the main things here is that your basses are very small. They're weak. They need to be layered more so that they can be big, thick, and full. You can layer like lows, mids, highs, and you can layer mono and stereo so that you can get each one of these basses big and pumping. Right now, the other elements like the synths and stuff are louder than the main basses, which is an issue. Cool. And then we need some sort of call here. So the timing's very awkward here on the drop. We need there to be a real nice smooth transition. The buildup is where we build the tension and then we release all the tension right here at the build. So we're not really getting any of that here. So you got to restructure the timing to be perfect. Look at reference tracks if you need so that you can start to understand how long buildup should be, how long pre-drop should be, and how long your drop should be. And also you can look at how they do their flow too. So you can learn the tricks that we always do. And it sounds like there is a bass line, like a sustained bass line playing in the back. You want to remove that and make the bass line should be following these basses basically. Right now it's really slow and there's not a lot of movement here because that bass is just being sustained and not following those cool WIP basses. You know what I'm saying? So look into those, look into the timing issues. If any of that is hard for you, just hit me up. I'll help you with what I can. But you definitely want to get the timing perfect first and then try to restructure the transition between the build up to the drop because that's really important. Hitting that climax is everything. You know what it is? Up next is Eek Beats with Crashed Bandicoot V2. Very nice, very nice. Let's run it. Check it chat, check it chat. solo. Oh.
Of course.
Dude, I miss playing Crash Bandicoot.
What have I got? No, wait! I can explain! I'll get my revenge, Crash Bandicoot! Just you wait!
Nice. This is a pretty cool idea. This is crazy. So, man, you built a lot of tension here. I'm expecting like a pretty big drop.
What have I got?
All right, so this is a cool little fake out idea, but there needs to be some type of automation movement. You need to be filtering frequencies. It's very static and the same right now. It should feel like we're getting thrown into the drop with some type of filter automation on that section. When we get to the drop, it's very underwhelming. It's quiet. And one of the main things that's quiet is the clap. The clap is the most important thing because that's the rhythmic, like, spinal cord. This clap here, this is what we're dancing to. If we can barely hear it, then it's really going to affect the energy and the amount of feeling that we get here in the drop. So your drums all feel very small. You want to compress them, saturate them, start to get them cutting through the mix more. It also doesn't sound like... First of all, the sub is super, super small, super tiny. So it almost feels like we're missing a huge part of the frequency spectrum, which is all the lows. It feels like we're only listening to mids and highs. So that's a huge issue. You got to make sure your sub is big and fat and cutting through the mix just as loud as your mids and highs. And then there's like so much noise, like white noise is almost like layered over everything. And the noise is louder than everything else, which it's like an overdose of super high frequencies in the main part of the song where the spotlight should be on these basses and the sub and the cool like elements that you use from the OG song. So the mix being unbalanced is really affecting the energy levels and the overall intensity of this drop. Also, the main riff, dun 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 dun, it repeats over and over and over again. So you have to start to switch that up eventually because it's cool for a little bit, but over time it gets predictable. And if we can predict what's going to happen next, we're not going to be surprised. And then energy will be going down. So yeah, just keep that in mind. This is a great idea though. It's going to connect with a lot of people. I really like how you did this fake out here.
What have I got?
And then just really incorporate silence, right? If this is a silent section, make sure there's no weird tails or anything messing up the silence. Hear that, all that loud noise and stuff? So it's almost like a huge straight line of sound rather than us hearing or feeling these dynamic movements. So it's loud to quiet. Okay, so be careful out there with all that noise. You don't want to get too crazy. Turn it down, EQ it out. You know what it is. Good job, EQ Beats with the Crash Bandicoot. You love to hear it. Next on the list is Kilowatts coming in with none. Then, shit, I forgot my phrase I was about to say. He's coming in with file 7. Let's get it done. Whoa! You know what it is and what it ain't. Another breakdown. That's fire, boy. You got that shit in ya. I can tell. Whoa, 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 whoa. Kilowatts coming in, hot, coming in with that heat and that fire. I'm really impressed by the amount of different flows that you got in here that all work, you know? It seems like there's unlimited flows in you, which is sick. Sometimes it sounds a little bit too distorted, a little bit too loud. And sometimes it seems like it's not compressed enough and we don't hear a lot of high frequencies. So the overall mix could definitely be balanced better, but I mean, it's still very nice and danceable. Some sections though feel very empty, and I think that would need to be improved upon to make this feel, you know, more professional. So like in important sections like this breakdown, which you're doing really well, by the way, all these different breakdowns, I could tell they're all different. Keep in mind though, it is a lot of breakdowns. We have it's about literally 50% breakdowns and 50% drop. So I would, you know, maybe think about making one of these drops, maybe 32 bars instead of 16 bars, and try to like give us more dancing time in this song rather than us, you know, just waiting for the drop, which is happening in a lot of these sections. Just keep those things in mind. When we're DJing too, we're usually just playing like half the build up to the drop. So if you have a 32 bar drop, it could be beneficial for many different ways. So just keep that in mind. Right here feels very empty because it's just mids and highs. If we were at the festival or at the club and you just broke it down right after this, lights go off, right? We need there to be mad sub bass right here, like, and everyone just feels it in their chest as soon as they feel this shit. Like this whole section needs to be lots of lows. So when they're at the club or the festival, they're just feeling it as they're waiting for the drop. And then boom, we hit them with the drop. You want to use that, you know, same idea for all these breakdowns and make sure that all your sections have lows, mids, highs. So like in this section, it needs lows. All the war drums and stuff is good, but there needs to be a sub, a bass line, something to fill the rest of the frequency spectrum. Then here, no lows is fine. So you're going from like no sub to no sub, back to sub. And that'll be like the whole idea. But very nice, man. I like it, the flows. I like it, the feelings. I was dancing to a lot of different rhythms here and I like it, man. I'm impressed. Good job. Killing the game with file 7 kilowatts. Nextly is Scary Larry. He says he has a good feeling. How good? job, dude. You really know how to get some feelings in here. Lots of emotion, man. Lots of different journeys that we just took in this 2 minutes of time. So that's fucking awesome. One of the main things that would make this go to the next level is if your chords were just stacked more brightness, more intensity, more layers. They need to be bigger. These are really small. Like the vocals and the clap are almost the same intensity, when really these supersaws, all these synths need to just be like the spotlight, the star of the show, and they should be a little bit bigger, louder, brighter, wider than everything else. And then the vocal will just be there to support it rather than try to be the star of the show. When you listen to these chords, they sound filtered out, and it sounds like there's a vocal swell in the background that's taking up the high frequencies in replacement, but it just sounds very awkward. We need both to be playing in the high frequencies. Yeah, it just sounds like we're filtered out and removing frequencies, which is removing intensity. So make sure your saws are stacked. You got good bright highs, lots of energy, and that will take this to the next level. The guitar, when it comes at the end, is just very good. It's begging for like some emotional vocals, which will just, you know, make people cry, literally. So being able to project this emotion so quickly is impressive. Good job. And this seems a little choppy, a little almost like not smooth enough. It's like the pianos are louder than the synths, which is causing a weird issue. But then it almost sounds like there's like sidechain turning on and off, or like something's moving, and then it almost feels like there's little weird clicks that happen sometimes. So just, I don't know, check in to all your fades and stuff and make sure everything is flowing perfect in these sections too. And add more fast drums in your build. Because when the drums are coming, it just seems like very awkward how slow the drums are going. It starts to speed up here with the filtered out snare, but that just happens too late in time. And the hats that are playing, those are just playing quarter notes. Those aren't increasing in speed at all, and they're still playing during this section. So you just want to make sure those hats stop playing in the section and the hats speed up naturally in the build-up too. That's about it. Yeah, good job though, man. Good job, Scary Larry, getting it done. I see y'all there, man. Making people get in their feels. Next is C's with duck sauce. Nice. Actually, I need to get something. I'll be right back. Duck sauce. Alright, duck sauce, let's get it. Oh, the duck sauce. All right, cool. This is pretty unique. At the beginning, I was getting like some Travis Scott Astroworld vibes. It's glitching out. There's a lot of weird silences. It seems very staticky, glitchy. It's almost on the cusp of being too much. There needs to be some type of bass line here. It's just a kick. There's just mids and highs playing, basically. So we need to fill the frequency spectrum, add a bass line, add a sub here. This will get people moving and get some energy in the club and stuff when they're subs. Yeah, see, like towards the end, it all glitching out. It seems very, like, a lot of tension. All right, so you need a pre-drop, very important, and then you get into the fake out. The fake out is twice as long, so make sure you only do it this 2 bars. You could drop it right there, and there'll be a lot of energy if you drop it right there. But see, you're dropping right in to the main motif. There needs to be some type of call and response, so it could be like bong bong. Some type of sound should happen before your main motif. Because right now we're just like barely moving pitch, like up and down. The movements in pitch seem very odd and random, and they don't feel like they're like purposely trying to capture any type of emotion. So like if you're in a scale and let's say you got, so first off, you got to make sure you're in a scale. So like D minor, C minor, you're choosing all the same notes so you're in harmony. But when you're making your movements, you see how we're like moving from this highlighted to this? That's going to be not enough movement. Usually you want to go and skip one of your notes. So then this is from 1 to 3, your third. You skip another note and you end up on your 5th. So these 3 notes, D, F, and A, are the 3 most important notes in my scale, D minor. These will sound really good, and mathematically they're going to line up. So whenever you're making movements, be aware that you're not just making small movements like this, but you're strategically using the mathematics of the universe so that your music can sound in harmony and vibrate at the same level. Remember, harmony means 2 things are vibrating at the same thing. When they vibrate at the same thing, it stacks, it becomes more powerful. If 2 things are not vibrating at the same level, it creates tension and dissonance. It's different. Horror movies and horror music uses tension and dissonance. But in our music, we have to use it sporadically and use it strategically and smartly because it could mess up the song, take it in different directions. And we use our music theory to help us out, man. You know what it is. So yeah, and in this section, a lot of the basses are kind of mixed odds. So like there's a fast bass going fast, and it's almost like our main bass is like quiet. So try to balance out these sounds, make them, the same loudness, and then you can start mixing them down and start taking the ones that you don't want and putting them in the background by turning the volume down. That'll help, clear up some space, make everything fit together. If you need help with any of that, just send me up. I'll answer any questions you got. But that is C's with duck sauce. Next. Then my last not working. This one's up and ready though. Okay, cool. Up next, we got Hellboy X3 with Don't Give a Damn. He said, yo, what's up? This is my first time that I'm sending in a song that I'm currently working on. Thanks for submitting, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get it done. Let's see what you got. Violation. 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 What? Violation. Okay, back off the streets. Cool, this is a pretty good idea. Now, unfortunately, it is way too loud. It actually hurts to listen to. It's ear-piercing too loud. I had to turn it down a lot so it didn't hurt my ears. We should never be in the 1.5 LUF range. Remember, if we're at -3 LUFs, we're so loud that we're damaging our ears whenever we listen for like more than 10 minutes. So if we go louder than -3, it just starts to get almost irresponsible, you know, because we don't have to be that loud. We really aren't in the loudness wars anymore. That stuff has ended. And -6 to -3 is for sure loud enough. So dial this back so that we can listen to it at a respectable level. -3 should be your maximum limit on the LUF meter. Use Ulene or the Swiss Army meter to measure. Now, your sound design is decent, but the mixing is just really off, so it's very hard for us to be able to listen or focus on your sound design. The main focus is actually on the hi-hats, which is just like almost white noise. So the hi-hat being the loudest in the mix and taking up the most in the mix is very harsh because of how the frequencies are played. So remember, your bass is moving. It's like rump, rump. Your bass isn't going full blast loudness the whole time, but your hi-hat almost is. It's like tss, tss, it's barely fading out. Those hi-hats need to be turned down. They need to be faded so that they flow well with this track. And then your main basses need to be looked on because the sub is taking about 75% of the mix, while the basses are like kind of almost in the background, taking up like 25%. So let's check this out. Hey, thank you for the follow. What it is, what it is. I love Blast Back. Thanks, man. You the man. Where's the Discord? I will send you the link right now. Here you go. Oh, that might not work. Okay, there you go. Okay, Roses just got off work. I'll be around Drip. Got a long drive home. Okay, cool. What's up, David White? What it do? Okay, so let's get back to this track. So the sub bass is overpowering the mix. So if we listened in like a sub, a car with a sub, or like in the club, it'd be a lot more noticeable how loud the sub is compared to everything else. But with our monitoring headphones, sometimes it's difficult. So you need good headphones, you need a good interface to even be approaching this problem. But listen to the main bass. Dun, 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 dun. The main bass is like more high frequency. It's not as beefy as it should be when compared to the sub. So with the loud hat, the super loud sub, and then the bass being too quiet, it's just an awkward mix, and it's too loud as well. So you want to rebalance all this so that the energy levels can be properly placed. And remember, in breakdowns like this, you really want to avoid putting people in halftime. So I'm dancing like this. I should be dancing in full time like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we dance half the speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. We need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you increase the speed of the ARP, increase the speed of the drums, you'll be able to achieve that. And that'll be important for sure. That's about it. Get out of that -1 left range, my boy. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I went over. I got you. You know what it is and what it ain't. Next in line, we got Stacks with Psychological. Let's go. Wait, where is it? Here it is. Let's go.
The place to begin is with motivation, which is what starts us down the path of peak performance. Elite performers stack psychological fuel sources. Such as curiosity, passion, and purpose. Stacking these sources of mental energy, they ensure on-demand access to all of life's most potent emotional fuels. So, what drives us? So, what drives us? Psychological. In practice, we are going to work our way through 4 main sections, exploring motivation, learning, creativity, and flow in turn. In each section, I'm going to break down what science can tell us about how these skills work in the brain and body. Then, through a series of exercises, teach you the best ways to apply this information in your own life. The place to begin is with motivation, which is what starts us down the path of peak performance. Yet motivation, as psychologists use the term, is actually a catch-all for 3 subsets of skills: drive, grit, and goals. I'm going to break down what science can tell us about how these skills work in the brain and body. Then, creativity and savagery.
All right, cool. Psychological by Stacks. You know, this is a pretty decent idea with the vocals, talking about psychological. It's setting us in a very eerie, dark place, which is very important. Unfortunately, though, while we're playing this, it's very slow moving. You know, we have an alarm and a heartbeat, but that's not enough. We need some type of beat, some type of movement so that we know that this is, you know, not a movie trailer. an actual EDM song.
Psychological fuel sources.
But you can definitely do this, but for doing it this long, that's where it becomes an issue. It's just too long of us being stagnant.
Place to begin on-demand.
When these drums come, they need to be big, fat. They have to like tell people that something is about to go down, which is the drop. When these basses come in, they sound very thin and weak. You need to layer these more and make these bigger and beefier. That sussy in the back is louder than the basses.
Psychological.
This is a cool fake out. You can add some risers and sweeps in the background, increase the energy so that we can transition into the drop here. But when we hit this drop, it has to be the loudest, most impactful, craziest part of the song. And right now it's not. So, I mean, visually you can see we're not really even hitting the tip. So we still have some headroom here. You should be getting bigger samples for your kicks and your snares and your claps, and then making sure that you're doing parallel processing so that everything can get loud and clean at the same time. I made a video on parallel processing too. In sections like this, we have two basses. There's a wide bass that's louder than the actual main bass. Hear that bass? Very quiet. Hear these basses? Very loud, then quiet. So like this is one of the main basses, and it's just very weak, very low intensity compared to the other tracks. Like the fast thing is louder and more powerful, so we got to rebalance this and make sure that lead is the biggest and the beefiest, like a Taco Bell cantina.
Work our way through 4 main sections.
Same thing in this breakdown, speed up the energy, and most importantly, some of these sections fill halftime. So the way you've laid out these rhythms, we're not able to dance 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We can only dance like 1, 2, 1, 2.
3.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see, you're like slowing down the rhythms and the basses right here. It's like brown. So you're just slowing down all the energy when really it needs to be super fast the whole time. And then you kind of sprinkle in some of these slower parts because the song needs to be in 140. You don't want to be dancing in 70 the whole time. And then you sprinkle in a little bit of 140. That just won't work. It won't be helpful, unfortunately. So, yep, check in the timing, check out on the basses, get that energy, check your mixing. You know what it is, dog. Hit me up with any questions if you need help with any of that. I got you. Next. Wait, what? Did I play... Wait, I played Violation. Violation was Smiley's song. Whose did I say it was? Duck Sauce. I think I... wait, Don't Give a Damn. Do we not listen to Don't Give a Damn? Okay. Alright, so this Violation song. This track. This was Smiley's track. Sorry about that, Smiley's. This sounds like a Smiley's track, all that. Cool. So we need to actually go back and listen to Hellboy's Don't Give a Damn, because that was accidentally skipped. Looks like they downloaded. Weird. Sorry about that. All right, let's go back to Hellboy. Don't Give a Damn. Sorry about that too, Smileys.
This is Hellboy.
I don't give a damn. a little dude.
I don't give a damn what you're saying, 'cause all I really know is the record keeps playing.
Hey. If you don't play it, we don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Give a damn. Cool. That was pretty decent. We got like some hybrid trap vibes in here with the drums and the sub. That's what really makes it different. It feels like rhythm, right? And then we get boom, just like some hybrid trap vibe. This is cool. The sub though is so overpowering. The sub is nice, right? We need the sub. But as soon as the sub plays, it overpowers everything else in the mix, and we can barely feel or hear the other dudes. Usually this is a common issue. So whenever you have a sub like this, and you turn that up, right, we have a big fat sub, right? And this is what the EQ looks like. Well, let's say you wanted to clean the sub up. You can turn down all the mids. I'll grab another dot and I'll just turn it down. So we're only letting the lows and the highs play, essentially. Compared to... Wait, what the hell? I think this is phasing or something. I don't know what the hell's happening. Alright, cool. So this is the sub. Okay, I'm not too sure what the heck is going on with this sine wave right now. Alright, look. Get the EQ. This is the clean sine. And we're introducing the upper harmonics like this. You can see them here. Now, if they start to stack up and become too much, that'll overpower the mix. So you usually want to turn these down so that everything else can flow. And you'll see now these are getting too intense, so you could just start turning down this output if you wanted to, and really start to blend in the signal. And so you still have a fat sub that's not overpowering the mix. That's the goal. All right, cool. Fun time. I don't give a damn. I once did give a damn, and now I don't give a damn. Next, we got Scaniel. We also got JV or J. Sorry, with ID old. Let's run it. Sounds old to me. Yeah. Chicken down there. Don't give a damn. nice. This is a pretty good sound design here. Sounding real nice, heavy, industrial, grungy. Unfortunately, though, there's too much mud. And it's like a lot of competing low-mid frequencies. It also sounds like that distorted sustain thing. It almost sounds like a zipper being like zipped and distorted. That is almost like the main thing that we can hear, and it's like muddying up the mix. So you want to EQ that, maybe reduce the volume of that if you want to keep it. Otherwise, remove it so that you can clear up some space for all these other distorted heavy sounds. It almost sounds like a sub layer or something. It's right here too. Yeah, that's just taking up too much. Also, it's pretty empty right here. You guys have mids and highs playing, but still no lows. You want to add some sub bass, get more elements in here so that it sounds full and not empty. And that's about it. This does take a long time to also get into. 16 bars of just piano solo is a lot. You got to make sure that the piano is doing a lot of movement, lots of journeys. If you're going to let it play this long. Okay. Otherwise, decent idea. Definitely work on it, continue to make it longer. That'd be ideal. But I like the tones, I like the vibes and the energy that you guys are thinking of. So it's a fun time. It's a good time. Next, we have Go Dubs. This is actually the last submission. Coming in with the whole Vampire Edit demo. Let's go.
Bleed for me.
Okay, very nice Go Dubs coming in with some heat, some loud tangs. We're at about negative 2.7 LUFS, but we're at a loudness level that's maintainable. I don't have to turn it down too much on my interface. It sounds clean. There's not too much harsh frequency. So us being this loud may be okay because of how we did it. But it sounds really heavy. You know, it sounds professional, big, loud, deep. Grungy, crunchy. The only thing that sounds off is this repeating over and over. It worked fine for the first three, but I mean the first Yeah, 3. But on this 4th one, I mean, it just starts to feel like it's just restarting over and over again. And it's not like flowing and transitioning from phrase to phrase. It just feels like you're playing a phrase and then restarting the phrase. It starts to feel pretty abrupt when it comes to these phrases transitioning from one another. Which is very fast, abrupt transition. And it happens often. So I would really look into those and try to, you know, keep the energy constant rather than just stop the energy abruptly and then dive back in kind of randomly. That will help. These dynamic shifts, though, from going loud to quiet is important, and it's very critical that you keep that technique, but we just want to make sure it doesn't get like abrupt or repetitive over time. The speeds up and the basses and stuff is really nice. But it seems like it's the same rhythm and melody the whole... Yeah, you really shouldn't play the same bass motif over and over again. Seems like you might have just like not put enough variations in these to keep it interesting. It seems like they're all just doing the same, you know, down, 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 the same pitch movements, basically the same journey. You just take a little bit of different journey every so often, and that will keep the original journey as fresh as can be. Otherwise, this is good. Lots of energy. Keep it up. You guys are doing great, man. You guys are doing swell. I'm happy to see everyone improving so much. All my students are going hard. The YouTube videos are becoming so much fun. Everything's going real good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to upload your track and submit it in my Discord so I can give you feedback. This is going to be happening every Monday. I will be moving to a different time zone here in a couple weeks, so the time's a little bit weird and wonky right now, but everything will get back on schedule. Just keep it real, guys. Keep producing, keep evolving, and hit me up if you need anything. Stay fresh. Peace out.